The mystery of the square waves. On the small island of Ile de Ré, France, where waves gently kiss the white sandy shores and the ocean breeze blows endlessly, a legend has been passed down through generations. People say that whenever the sea forms perfect square patterns on the surface, a lost soul appears, searching for someone to drag into the deep abyss of the ocean. The journey to Ile de Ré. Lucas, a young photographer, never believed in ghost stories. All he knew was that Ile de Ré was one of the only places in the world where the square wave phenomenon could be clearly captured. He had spent months researching and planning this trip, determined to take a once-in-a-lifetime shot. After hours of driving from Paris and taking a boat to the island, Lucas finally set foot on the land surrounded by crystal-clear waters and smooth sandy beaches. The locals welcomed him warmly, but when he mentioned the square waves, their smiles slowly faded. An old fisherman, Bernard, sipping a glass of red wine, looked at Lucas with weary eyes. "Young man, are you here to photograph the square waves? I advise you not to go near the sea on days like that." Lucas chuckled. "Why not? I heard it's a fascinating scientific phenomenon, nothing to be afraid of." Bernard sighed, his gaze drifting toward the distant ocean. "No one knows why the square waves appear, but whenever they do, strange things happen. Many boats have vanished without a trace. Some people swam out there and never returned." Lucas dismissed the warning. He had come well prepared with his camera, drone, and even diving gear. To him, the square waves were nothing more than a breathtaking natural occurrence, nothing to be feared. The appearance of the square waves. The next morning, Lucas woke up early and headed to the shore with his camera in hand. The sea was calm, its surface reflecting the golden hues of dawn. But then, something strange happened. Small waves began to form, but instead of spreading in arcs as usual, they intersected, creating perfect square patterns across the water. Lucas held his breath. He had never seen anything so strange and beautiful before. Quickly, he turned on his camera, capturing every moment. Then, he launched his drone into the air to take a panoramic shot of this rare phenomenon. But as he was engrossed in his screen, a sudden cold gust of wind sent shivers down his spine. Beneath the ocean, within the flawless squares of the waves, something was moving. The mystery below the surface. Lucas knew he couldn't let this opportunity slip away. He grabbed his diving suit, checked his oxygen tank, and slowly descended into the water. The cold ocean embraced him as he dove deeper. What he saw beneath the waves left him speechless. The currents were not behaving normally. Instead, they swirled at the intersections of the square waves, as if an invisible force was pulling everything downward. He switched on his underwater flashlight, scanning his surroundings. Suddenly, a dark shape flickered at the edge of his vision. A deep sense of unease crept over him. He spun around quickly, but there was nothing, just the dark, endless water. Then, something touched his leg. Lucas panicked and struggled to free himself. When he looked down, he saw a pale face, with hollow eyes and long black hair floating in the water, staring directly at him. He wanted to scream, but the ocean swallowed his voice. The curse of the ocean. Lucas desperately tried to swim upward, but it felt like hundreds of hands were pulling him down. He suddenly remembered Bernard's warnings. Could this be the trapped soul that the islanders spoke of? Just as he was about to lose all hope, a powerful beam of light shone down from the surface. Someone was calling him. It was Bernard. The old fisherman had rowed out and was reaching for Lucas, pulling him out of the water with all his strength. The moment he broke through the surface, Lucas gasped for air, his body trembling with fear. He looked back down at the ocean, but there was no one there. The square waves had begun to dissolve, and the sea returned to its calm state, as if nothing had ever happened. Bernard looked at him, his expression grave. "I told you. When the square waves appear, the sea no longer belongs to humans." Lucas shivered, unable to speak. He would never forget that moment, the icy grip of the ghostly hands, the hollow eyes staring at him from the abyss. A secret forever buried. After that day, Lucas left the island and never returned. He never published his photos, nor did he tell anyone about what happened beneath the waves. But every time he closed his eyes, he still saw those lifeless eyes staring back at him. As for the islanders, they continued their lives as they always had, passing down the tales of the souls trapped within the square waves. And whenever they saw the phenomenon appear, they only watched from afar, never daring to go near. Because they knew the ocean holds secrets that humans were never meant to uncover.